Now more than ever, taking better care of our health has become foremost. Accessing nutrient-rich, bioavailable food is a way to achieve exactly that. And so today I am vlogging from the garden as we chat tips to start your very own basic organic vegetable garden. Hello everybody, I am Annie, the author of Negrita Nomadic, Daughter of the Angolan Civil War, as well as the creator of Negrita 2.0, Strategies for a Fulfilled Affluent You Beyond the 21st Century. It's a personal development program for women who are interested in improving themselves in life, career, as well as business. To join our exciting inner circle, I have enclosed all of the details in the description box for you. Now, I am fortunate enough to live in urban suburbia with quite a sizable yard, and I'm going to zoom in the image a little bit to give you some idea of what my garden looks like. So for me, being of African descent means that I am accustomed to open space, and so here we have enough space for an array of plant species that literally changes through the season. It literally changes the character of the garden through the season. So year around, spending time in the garden is almost like visiting a different holiday destination for each season. Let me start off with the orchids, for example. I would love to be able to show you some of the lovely array of orchids we have. For example, the guava tree right behind me is yet to mature at this point, but it flowers in the spring and bears fruit in the winter. We also have some citrus, and the aroma is literally everything that you can imagine. Here you can of course use the leaves, which are great for those herbal teas. They're also fantastic in drinks. That's the leaves and the actual juice, the citrus juice. And you can also use it in marinades. You can let your imagination go wild on this one, because you can preserve some, and you can also make some fantastic marmalade, and literally your imagination is your only limitation there. We have an avocado tree as well. The avocado tree was literally a gift. It's a baby avocado tree. They do take about 5 years to grow, and then they take about 8 months to bear fruit. And these tend to be quite expensive in some countries. And I was watching an interesting documentary the other day about how there is an entire avocado black market in certain parts of the world, like Latin America and even in South Africa. And so, you know, I feel very privileged to be able to just have these in my backyard. Well, apart from being absolutely delicious, They are basically a superfood, and extremely high in fiber, and an intrinsic part of the plant-based diet. So they're an excellent addition. And then we also have passion fruit, or some people call granadilla. And here, of course, I've also got no excuses to get store-bought juices, with all the excess sugars and the preservatives. So I did go through a time where I lived in a pokey apartment with literally no room for much else other than the bare essentials. And rooftop gardens were legally very complex to navigate in communal living setups. And obviously the world has come a long way since those days. So if you live in such a setup, or feel you are limited by space constraints, I would suggest to familiarize yourself with the specific bylaws in your context, because some communities use allotments and others use greenhouses. There are many tunnels and similar options in the market to consider. There are also different methods when it comes to gardening. So it is important that you be clear on the vegetable garden objectives or your overall garden objectives. The thing I like about gardening is that it is a way to redirect your energy away from all of the negativity. There are, of course, different methods when it comes to gardening, so it is important to be clear about your garden objectives and also your individual context, as already mentioned. The other thing is to be clear about the purpose of your garden, and also think about what you want to grow and when you want to grow it and how much of it you want to grow. And once you are clear on all of those key questions, you can start working on a plan to execute on your vision. And then, of course, you need to commit to the process, because gardening is very much a labor of love. It takes about 1 to 4 months to grow your own food, depending on, of course, on what you're growing. So you need to almost go back and work on year-round cycles to get seasonal produce. For example, if you're wanting to have your leafy greens in the summer and root vegetables in the winter, you need to prepare accordingly for this. Another key element is, of course, creating the fertile environment to grow your vegetables. And here we have organically composted soil. So you can, again, there think about an option that is best suited for your specific context, such as your climate or whatever resources which might be finite in your specific context. Like hydroponics were all the rage the last time I checked. So again, there are endless methodologies, and so you'll have to just look and see what works best for you. In fact, I would like to know, if you're already into gardening, why don't you include in this video, below this video, include these specific tips and tricks you use for your context. And speaking of finite resources, the other aspect is, of course, then the irrigation. You need to think about a water source that is reliable. So you need to maybe think about eco-friendly options like digging a well or collecting rainwater, and maybe even buying a JoJo tank or something like that to then use for irrigation purposes in your garden. A well-watered garden is the aim, so you really need to think about the frequency with which to do this, and you need a solid plan. The issue of pesticides is controversy laden in some communities, but the fact is that you need some sort of pesticide to protect your plants from to protect your crops. You get organic options which are commercially available. So nature does provide some solutions as well. Like what we do is plant some herb varieties, even edible flowers, and even root vegetables like garlic and onion and even ginger. You can sort of plant that around your crop to protect them. So once your vegetables are ready to be picked and consumed, during preparation, what you can then do to help pesticide removal, rinse your vegetable in water. You need to properly wash them, and then just add a couple of spoonfuls of bicarb of soda in your vegetable rinsing water before that final rinse, and it goes a long way. In conclusion, global ladies and friends, I have to say, truly monitoring the state of your garden and acting in accordance with the specific needs as they come up is crucial. This includes sometimes uprooting whatever is harmful for you. What I can tell you for certain is that it is extremely rewarding to be able to eat from your very own backyard and living with the comfort of knowing exactly what is in it. It's a fantastic skill to pass on to your children as well. But most of all, global ladies and friends, the aromas, colors, and textures throughout the year make it so worthwhile. So that is it from me. Remember to like and share this video. Also, include your very own gardening related comments. I know it's been a little bit noisy doing this one. I'm all the way back in the garden, all the way back, so it's a little bit closer to the road, so I hope it's not too disruptive. Also, feel free to browse through my playlist to see what might be of interest to you. I also welcome your video suggestions. Happy gardening and happy spring break and happy St. Patrick's Day, and also happy Easter if you are celebrating any of those. Until then, I will see you on the next one.